Good evening, everyone. This is Reverend Pat Beers, and today I'm going to talk to you about the year of the pig. It started on February 5th of 2019, and it will go till January 24th of 2020. And it's a number 1 year, and that means new beginnings. Please be aware I'm going to read a lot. I have a lot of notes here, and it's hard to keep all this straight in my head. So this is a yin year, and it's feminine energy. And the year of the pig is also the year of the boar. It's the last sign in the Zodiac, but it's number 1. Last year we finished the year of the dog, and it was a 9 year, and that was endings. And you may have noticed that in your life, ends of friendships, ends of attitudes. It was just a year of endings in general. Now, pigs in general are models of sincerity, purity, tolerance, and honor. They want to do everything right. They seek common and sincere advice from friendly people. They delight in country living. You could say they like rustic. They like off-color jokes, sometimes a little much. And they like to tickle you silly. So they can make you laugh. They're very happy. They love gourmet foods. Sometimes they're a little too accommodating, and people tend to take advantage of them. And when they've had enough, they may fly off the handle into a fit of anger or throw a lovely temper tantrum. They'll send everybody nearby looking for cover just because it's so unusual for them to go off like that. When they do that, they seek their favorite chair, a good beer or a good wine, and perhaps some imported chocolate. We all know how important chocolate is, especially the 95% cocoa. You pig people, and I will read the years that is much later, often become rich. You can't help it. It's just the nature of you. You get along well with hot-blooded dragons, creative goats, and country tigers. Beware of elegant snakes who may try to slither into your hearts. Beware of roosters, too. Usually, post-middle age, you'll calm down a little bit. Your surges of rage will abate, and life will become a real wallow. Have you ever seen pigs on a farm? Most of my relatives were farmers, and it would fascinate me how they would just get into a water trough or water would spill out, and they would be in there making a muddy mess, and they always look so happy. In the interest of your own self-defense this year, I want you to exercise your right to say no. You're allowed to not enable others. It's okay to help, but you have to watch that you don't enable people. And our tendency is we help to the extreme, and then they don't learn to take care of themselves. Just say no. Remember, it takes practice. It takes practice to make it perfect. If you don't want to say no, you can always say, I'm sorry, I don't have time right now, or I don't know if I can do that, or I'll think about it. But remember, practice makes perfect. Most of my information has come from a book by Suzanne White, and it's called Chinese Astrology. And this is the last year that it is in effect. And so I'll have to go back to the very beginning next year to look at things. This is a good year for you to initiate projects. You can get married, have a baby, you can build a house, start that business that you've been thinking about for a long time and dreaming about and have never followed through. This is your year to influence others positively and to refine your own goals. Like I said, we're always so busy helping everyone else that we tend to forget our own hopes and dreams and wishes. So I'd like you to take time, sit down, and make a note of where you want to be in 12 years, which is the next time the pig year will roll around again. This is your year to sign as pure piggy bliss. The best colors for pigs this year is royal purple. The lucky colors are yellow, gray, brown, and gold. Your flower is the calla lily. The fragrance is ambergris. The tree is acacia. And when I think about acacia, I always think about the acacia berries covered with chocolate and all that good stuff. The flavor is sweet and sour, and the birthstone for the year of the pig is moonstone. The lucky numbers are 5, 2, and 8. The lucky directions are northeast and southeast. And the blood types for a pig are often B or AB, and I have a very dear friend who's an O. I think O is the universal blood type. It's also suggested that you wear white with a touch of red. That is for luck and prosperity. Now, the 12th sign in the Chinese Zodiac being the year of the pig in 1923, if you were born between February 16th and February 4th of 1924, 1935, February 4th to January 23rd of 1926. I'm sorry, 1936. 1947, January 22nd to February 9th of 1948. I fall in that category. No, but I'm a dog. 1959, between February 8th and February 27th of 1960. 1971, January 27th or February 24th of 1972. 1983, February 13th to February 1st of 1984. 1995, January 31st to February 18th of 96. 2007, February 18th to February 6th of 2008. 2019, anyone born between February 5th and January 24th of next year will also be a pig. The next time the pig rolls around, are you ready for this, is 2031. Doesn't that sound like a long time away? If you're born in 2031 between January 23rd and February 10th of 2032, you will be born a pig. Some celebrities born under the sign of the pig are Henry VIII, Oliver Cromwell, Albert Schweitzer, Christopher Boykin, Ernest Hemingway, Stephen King, Alfred Hitchcock, Woody Allen, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ewan McGregor, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Jenna Elfman, Julie Andrews, Lucille Ball, Luke Wilson, Mahalia Jackson, Magic Johnson, Mark Wahlberg, Nicholas Brendan, Rachel Weisz, Ronald Reagan, Agnes Dean, Amber Tamblyn, Amy Winehouse, Carrie Underwood, Mila Kunis, and Chiang Kai-shek, the leader of the 20th century China, and an author named Lao, L-A-O, last name She, S-H-E, she's an author. Now here's some more information for you pigs. If you were born in 1935 or 1995, you're a wood pig. You're simple, honest, easygoing, enduring, but you can be a little impetuous. If you were born in 1947 or 2007, you're very dependent, dependable, cooperative. You have great ambition and good luck and wealth. You just seem to do quite well for yourself. Earth pigs, which is what 2019 is, you're born in 1959 or 2019. You're very good socially. You like to keep interpersonal relationships. You keep them forever. And then metal pigs were 1911 and 1971. They're gentle, very broad-minded, frank, and helpful. And then if you were born in 1923 or 1983, you are a water pig. You're responsible, serious, and you like to go on your own way. Sometimes you just like the solitude, the road less traveled. Now, they also divide this down even further. I know very little about astrology, but sometimes the similarities between these things are absolutely amazing to me. The Chinese Zodiac hours, the farmers divided the day into 2-hour increments, and those increments were designated to animals representing each period of time according to what the animal was doing. So the hours for a rat are between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. They forage actively at that time. They're often heard at this hour. The ox is between 1 and 3 a.m. They like to chew their cud. If you've ever been around cattle on a farm, they will often stand and chew their cud. It seems to relax them. And their observation is that's their sometimes feeding time. Tigers are between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. That's the hunting time. They could often be heard roaring loudly. Rabbits between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. They were if you've ever been around rabbits, my kids used to have a buck, and he was white, he was big, and he would get mad at them over something. He would stomp his hind feet hard, and that's what they tend to do that time in the morning between 5 and 7. They like to come out and eat at dawn when the dew is still on the flowers and they get moisture as well as food. The dragons between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. And the pattern was that it looked like they were hovering thickly. And if you've been in the mountains or on the highway in the mountains and you watch the mist coil around the hills and the mountains, it does look like a dragon. It's absolutely beautiful most of the time. Unless, of course, you're driving through one of those lovely foggy areas. Snakes come out between 9 and 11. They emerge readily. They just come out. They're ready to go. They like to come out as the sun's warming the ground. If you're a horse, you're born between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. They impress with their stance. They always look stately. And they will be standing while others are lying down. Goats are born between 1 and 3 p.m. They eat a lot, and this cracked me up. They urinate the most at this time. And it's the best time to herd them. I found that amusing that you could herd goats between 1 and 3 p.m. I would have thought it would have been later. Monkeys are between 3 and 5 p.m. They play vigorously during that time. You can see them and hear them in the trees playing tag. Roosters are born between 5 and 7 p.m. They return to the roost now. They prefer to be back in their safe habitat prior to sunset. Dogs are between 7 and 9 p.m. They guard dutifully, and it's usually prior to bedtime. They're checking to make sure everything is okay. If you have a dog, my dogs do that to me. It's like they decide it's bedtime, and they go and they start nudging me and barking at me. Pigs hours are between 9 and 11. They breathe noisily. If you've ever been around pigs, they are quite noisy. They grunt and they carry on. And that's when they like to dig in the trough. They're snouting, I call it, for food. Now, here's the best matches. For Chinese astrology, if you're a rat, you will do well with an ox, a dragon, or a rabbit. If you're an ox, you will do well with a rat, a monkey, or a rooster. If you're a tiger, you'll do well with a dragon, a horse, or a pig. If you're a rabbit, you do well with the rat, the goat, the monkey, and the pig. Dragons like rats, tigers, and snakes. Snakes do well with dragons or roosters. Horses will do well with goats and tigers. And goats will do well with rabbits, horses, or pigs. Monkeys do well with ox and rabbit. Rooster will do well with ox and snake. Dog will do well with rabbit. And pig will do well with a goat, a tiger, or a rabbit. To read you the years, it's easy to just Google and see what sign are you and put in your birth year, and it will tell you because the list is long and confusing. Rats are considered to be quick-witted, resourceful, versatile, and very kind. Oxes are very diligent and dependable, strong and determined. Think about the pictures you've seen of them plowing with the yoke on and those people walking behind them with virtually maybe a little rope or something. Tigers are brave, confident, and competitive. Rabbits are quiet, elegant, kind, and responsible. And dragons are confident, intelligent, and very enthusiastic. And then we come to the snake. They're enigmatic, intelligent, and wise. Horses are often animated. Think about the spring when they're running through the field and they're just so excited to be outside in that nice weather. They're animated, active, and energetic. Goats tend to be calm, gentle, and sympathetic. Roosters are observant, hardworking, and courageous. Dogs are lovely, honest, and prudent. And pigs are compassionate, generous, and diligent. And there was an article in our paper, I believe it was on Monday, from Belfast, Ireland, and I thought this was amusing. We think about the animals as being smart, but not that smart. Chimps made a ladder to escape at Belfast Zoo. Zookeepers say that a group of chimpanzees used branches that were weakened by a storm to make a ladder and escape from their enclosure at the Belfast Zoo. They had video filmed by visitors to the Northern Ireland Zoo, and it showed several primates scaling a wall and perching on top of it when one of them was just walking constantly around the enclosure. Zookeepers told BBC that they're intelligent primates and they know that they're not supposed to be out of the enclosure. So most of them got back in themselves quickly. And then today I heard on the radio some monkey here in the States had gotten out, was just roaming around the zoo like it owned the place. Now, for this year, 2019 is a 3-year. And so 2 and 1's 3 and 9 is 12. And you reduce the 4 digits to 2 digits. So 1 and 2 becomes a 3. So I would like you to add your month and day of your birth to the number 3. So in my case, it's 9, 9, and 3. So 9, 18, and 3 is 21. 2 and 1's a 3. So I am in accordance with the 3-year of 2019. It's real easy to do that. This is supposed to be a good prosperous year for all of us. It's supposed to be a lot less volatile, if you will. Hopefully people are going to start getting along better. It's a yin year. It's the feminine energy. Yang year is male energy. So it should be a good year for all of us. And like I said, it's a good time to act on those things that you've wanted to do for a long time and have never taken the time to do, especially if you're a pig. It applies to all of us, but it really applies to those of you who are pigs. Like I said, pigs often get rich. They can't help it. It just seems to follow them. So that's a good thing to have happen to you. Time maybe to take a commercial break, mister? Thank you. We'll be right back.
Divine Awakening's New Age Emporium and Healing Arts Shop. It's the largest locally owned and operated metaphysical retailer in the Sandusky, Ohio Tri-County area. Serving the Firelands region since April of 2014, they're pleased to offer a space that is welcoming, relaxing, and open to everyone. In the Emporium, you will find a variety of unique gifts, special events and services, as well as classes and workshops to soothe your mind, body, and spirit. If you're in the Sandusky, Ohio area, look for Divine Awakenings at 1006 Tiffin Avenue, Sandusky, Ohio. Their phone number is 419-502-9137, and you can find them on Facebook at /Divine Awakenings LLC.
Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have been a medium since I'm about 7 years old, and the work that I do through energy called psychometry. So what I will do is I will ask you, if I'm doing the reading by mail or by the Facebook, I will ask you to write me a note. It has to be handwritten. It can't be a computer printed note that you just sign. I will ask you to write a note, hold it in your hands for a few minutes, put your energy on it, think about your questions that you want, and then you mail it to me at P.O. Box 491, Uniontown, Ohio, 44685. If you bring me Grandma's ring, I'm going to be reading Grandma. I've had people come to me. I had 5 ladies come to me, all sisters, age range of almost 20 years. And each one of them brought me something that belonged to their deceased father. And I picked up on the time frame that he had lived in at that time. So it was really quite interesting to me. And then when we're doing readings at fairs or platform work, they call it, we can do billets. And that's when you simply write your name on a piece of paper, hold it in your hands for a few minutes, fold it up, you drop it in a basket, we take it out, we hold it, and that's how we get the energy from it. It's called psychometry. It's really very interesting. It really is. Many people, and then deceased loved ones, sometimes I will just be talking to someone. I do not act like the Long Island medium. Spirit will follow me around in a grocery store and say, you've got to tell them, got to tell them. So I will try to get away from them. And if I keep running into you, I will come up and whatever spirit is asking me to tell you, if it's a man or a woman, I will state that it's a male or a female. I'll say, oh, I had the craziest dream about you the other night. And I will tell you whatever spirit's asking me to tell you. You will either look at me and go, oh, that's interesting. Or you look at me like I am out of my mind. And if you look like at me like I'm crazier than I don't know what. I was like, oh my goodness. I had a friend named Tweed many years ago. And I said, you are Tweed's neighbor, aren't you? Or her sister? And they'll say, no. And I say, oh, I am so sorry. You look so much like her. And it's probably been 10 years since I saw her. Please forgive me. You have a wonderful day. And I walk away. What I've done is I've left the message. If they act interested, then I will go further and tell them more. But since I go to the same grocery store all the time, the clerks will often tell me, some lady said that, blah, 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 that you told her something. And because they hear I'm a little bit recognizable, and she said, then they'll come back in a few days or a few weeks and say, did I tell you about that woman? I can't believe it. When I started thinking about it, she was right. So it's really quite interesting. And we all often have those times when we get messages that we just need to relay. So don't be afraid of your gut feelings. If you start dreaming about someone or someone pops into your head, if it's someone who's deceased, say, hey, how are you? Glad to hear from you. If it's someone that's living, maybe you need to give them a call and say, hey, what's happening? Thank you so much for joining me, and hope to talk to you later. And please enjoy our show, Terra Turas. We're on every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Thank you. Bye.